The sword in the hand of the Wu Xian God King suddenly split into 12 swords. These 12 swords formed a sword formation and besieged the stone monster leader and the 3 super powerful stone monsters at the same time. Emperor Guizhou and the Wu Xian God King cooperated very skillfully, and when he saw his friend performing the sword formation, he also broke out completely. The chaotic origin bloodline in his body completely erupted, and a surging blood-colored aura spread. Regardless of the damage to his body, Emperor Guizhou used the great collapse of heaven and earth, one of the 2 ultimate secret techniques he mastered. The Emperor of Guizhou was seen holding 8 weapons in his 8 arms, causing the heaven and earth to distort. The first blow he swung was a heavy hammer, which cracked the huge stone monster's body. The third blow was a black axe, and the stone monster wailed and its body was cut off. In the blink of an eye, with a series of devastating moves, everything seemed to return to chaos, and the stone monster was strangled into a chaotic airflow. This scene shocked the other stone monsters. Emperor of Guizhou is really ferocious when he explodes. Luo Feng was secretly shocked. The stone monster was as powerful as the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord, and its body was as tough as the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord's chaotic origin bloodline. However, it was blasted into pieces after more than 10 consecutive attacks. Beautiful! Wu Xian God King was overjoyed. Guizhou, quickly kill those little stone monsters. I will deal with these 3 stronger ones. Now he only has to deal with the stone monster leader and 2 super powerful stone monsters. The burden on the Wu Xian God King has been lightened a lot, and the sword formation can do it completely. The leader of the stone monsters roared angrily, and the other 2 super powerful stone monsters also bombarded angrily. The sword formation of the Wu Xian God King was extremely tough, and it trapped the 3 of them like a cage, forcing them to watch Emperor Guizhou burst out with all his strength and kill the entangled stone monsters. The more than 300 stone monsters were being entangled by more than 300 Luo Fengs. Wherever the Emperor Guizhou passed, the stone monsters with the strength of ordinary second-level God King also had different strengths. The stronger ones would take 3 or 4 moves to kill, while the weaker ones could be smashed into pieces with just one hammer. In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen stone monsters died. The entire stone monster tribe began to become agitated. Although they had low intelligence, they could feel anger, fear, and attachment to their companions. Gather! The extremely angry stone monster leader roared, and his roar contained his will. Previously, the group of creatures in the dream domain wanted to surround Luo Feng and his group and prevent them from escaping. But now, following the leader's order, they no longer dispersed, but began to gather on their own initiative. The stone monster leader, along with 2 powerful subordinates, also took the initiative to join up with the other companions. More than 300 Luo Feng's clones could only entangle but could not trap each other. These stone monsters continued to gather together, and after gathering, they actually merged naturally. They can merge into one, said Emperor Guizhou. Wu Xian God King laughed. They gave up the siege. Once they merged into one, they seemed to become stronger, but they became individuals. The individuals with stupid moves, even with terrifying power, still could not prevent the escape of the Samsara building team. As the stone monster leader joined his fellow tribesmen and integrated into them, the super large stone monster they formed was already extremely huge. Retreat! Luo Feng and his companions were not afraid at all. With the escape method of the ultimate level of Wu Xian God King, his agility and speed were obviously much stronger than that of the super large stone monster. He quickly shook it off and fled far away. The super large stone monster was there, roaring in anger. After chasing for hundreds of steps, the Wu Xian God King had already escaped the influence of the dream domain's biological field and disappeared completely. They were allowed to escape. Far away, members of the 2 Worlds Palace all felt a little regretful. Although the members of the Samsara building are strong enough, if they are besieged by nearly 100 stone monsters of the second-level God King, most of them will die this time. The winged woman shook her head, but this time there is one more person who is good at splitting. It can control hundreds of clones at the same time, and can entangle 89 creatures in the dream domain of the second-level God King. Although it is just entanglement, it is also amazing. Another formidable being has risen in the origin continent. All parties watched. They are all overlords of the second-level God King, but they also understand that even though they are all at the second-level God King, there are huge differences between them. For example, the master of the space-time boat only cultivates one great Tao, the origin of time. But he is the one who has the highest achievement in this great Tao in the entire origin continent. Even if he is only at the peak of the second-level God King, he walks in different timelines and has 3 lives. Even the emperors and monarchs of the origin continent are very troubled. Emperors and monarchs, even if they have ultimate life forms, can only contact his present body and cannot threaten the past body and future body of the space-time boat. Like the Wu Xian God King, except for the time when he voluntarily died and reincarnated. His real body has never died once since he started practicing, no matter if he was surrounded and killed by the Emperor or in crisis in the Treasure Land. This kind of second-level God King is naturally much stronger than the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord and the Yu Kingdom Lord. He can entangle so many dream creatures because they are not very intelligent and have simple tactics. If he encounters the God Kings, their tactics are much more sophisticated. If he wants to entangle one, he needs to spend a lot of energy. Even so, it shouldn't be difficult to entangle 7 or 8 of the second-level God Kings. I don't know his true identity, but which old man he is. Everyone concealed their aura and changed their appearance. They naturally suspected that Luo Feng was an old man in reality. It should be a peak existence of the second-level God King. The team at the Samsara building has never seen him before. It seems there is a new member, they said. Although the white-haired palace master was surprised that there was one more formidable warrior in the Samsara building, he did not care too much. There were many people more formidable than Luo Feng on the origin continent. If there was one more person of the level of the Empress of Wind City or the Earth God King, it would cause a shock to the entire origin continent. Let's go. There's no need to stay in this dream space. Let's go to the next one, said the white-haired palace master. Walk. The Two Worlds Palace team quietly left this space and headed for the next dream space. Under the leadership of the Wu Xian God King, Luo Feng and his companions quickly escaped from the pursuit of the super-large stone monster. Haha, we all survived. Emperor Guisu laughed. Thanks to Brother Luo He. Wu Xian God King looked at Luo Feng. Brother Luo He, your clone technique is very unbelievable. There aren't many people in the entire origin continent who can compare with you. Luo Feng smiled. There are still many. Those who are good at splitting themselves into 2 bodies at the level of emperors and monarchs can do more than one hand. That's all I'm good at. Luo Feng said. I'm much worse in other areas. The allocation we agreed on before is no longer suitable now. Guisu Emperor said, Brother Luo He is not only responsible for detecting dangers and searching for treasures. When encountering powerful enemies, he can also help intercept many enemies. Then Guisu and I will each give half of our quota to Brother Luaha. Wu Xian God King said. In this way, Guisu, I, and Brother Luo He will each give 30%. Luo He's clone is very powerful, so I got the advantage, Yun Tian God King said with a smile. The proportion of her share seemed to remain unchanged, but the team as a whole was stronger and obtained more treasures, so naturally she got more. She knows her own limitations and thinks that a 10% share is already pretty good considering her contribution. Then I won't refuse. Luo Feng didn't act pretentiously. It's great, Guisu Emperor said. We were tricked this time. Although I don't know the real identity of that winged woman, I have met her many times in the Treasure Land. She is a member of the Two Worlds Palace. The Two Worlds Palace is plotting against us again. The Wu Xian God King was also quite angry. I tried to track them down just now, but they were very good at hiding their methods, and I didn't detect any traces. When it comes to the ability to track down the enemy, the Wu Xian God King is also extremely strong. The team of the Two Worlds Palace is usually led by the Palace Master's clone. Guisu Emperor said, the Palace Master of the Two Worlds Palace is, after all, a foreign being, and his realm is comparable to the ancestors of the two kingdoms. He is deliberately hiding, and none of us can find him. At this moment, Luo Feng also understood why the two ancient kingdoms were targeting the Two Worlds Palace, 10,000 Laws Building, and the Time-Space Boat. Because these 3 alien forces are huge in number, they are divided into multiple teams, led by foreign masters to fight for opportunities. The foreign masters have a sharp eye and are looking for some top treasures. The intensity of their competition is much stronger than that of the Samsara building. Let's find an opportunity later, said the Wu Xian God King. Brother Luo He, it is very common for different forces to fight against each other. You will see more in the future, Emperor Guisu said with a smile. Luo Feng nodded. Let's leave this dream space. The Two Worlds Palace has also explored here. I guess there are very few treasures that are easy to find. Good. Go to the next dream space. The team from the Samsara building quickly left and continued to explore another dream space. Within this mountain forest space, Luo Feng left a clone of the world life form here. This clone occupies 1,000th of the energy reserve, and over time, it will naturally absorb energy and grow slowly. I have explored this mountain forest space through the Samsara building and the Two Worlds Palace. There are very few treasures. It is estimated that it will be relatively peaceful for a period of time. Luo Feng sat cross-legged on a piece of grass. Creatures in the dream domain usually live in fixed territories. Only very few will leave the territory under special circumstances. Try to practice the Great Destruction Heart Refining method here. Luo Feng was not in a hurry to go to the deep space of the dream domain to practice, because he still needed to accompany his companions to hunt for treasure. The deep space of the dream domain would put too much burden on the spiritual will and would affect the combat performance.